Hey guys, today we're talking about the 1990 Upper Deck set and its errors. First, I want to mention a partnership we're having with GruntTalksMLB.com. Be sure to check them out. My buddy Darren is over there hosting my videos. He's got a lot of cool stuff over there, sports related, mainly baseball, interviews, funny stuff, stuff for sale, and he's got my videos over there. So thanks, Darren. So today we're going to talk about that sophomoric set of 1990 Upper Deck set. Man, they are setting the bar, introducing new stuff, and a ton of errors in the set. Wow, it's a train wreck of errors. I think they had like a 6-year-old doing all the typing on the bios on the back, because there is errors all over them, and they didn't correct very many of them. We're going to talk about those today. This is a set that had 800 cards in it, released in 2 different series, 1 through 700 and a 701 through 800, kind of like the first year. They were 99 cents a pack. They had a similar layout to the 89 set of Upper Deck, and they had a round hologram instead of the diamond one on the back. And it really set the bar of what other card manufacturers strove for, with including the first ever inserts. The Reggie Jackson Baseball Heroes, a set of 10 that was randomly inserted there, became a chase card for people. Also, 2,500 of those were autographed by Mr. October himself, and those were serial numbered 1 to 2,500, and they were actually written by hand. Even though that was the first to ever do that, Donruss kind of gets the credit for the serial numbered card the next year with the Donruss Elites, as they were serial numbered by machine 1 through 10,000. Let's talk about some errors. There's a ton of errors in this set, and they're mainly uncorrected. Let's get started. Number 3, Tom Drees. They spelled Hurled wrong. It says Hulred, like Hulred. Hulred. That was uncorrected. Mike Schmidt, number 20, Hall of Famer, says surprising. So instead of surprising. Card number 21, Robin Ventura, famous for other things, like famous for charging the mound at Nolan Ryan. Said he's from Samta, Maria, instead of Santa. Number 25, Greg Vaughn. They spelled association wrong. It says assiocation.
Number 28, Eric Anthony, says he's from Asheville, but they left the E out of the middle of it. It should have an E after the H. Tim Rock Reigns, number 29, Hall of Famer. On the back has his teammates. It has Wallach and Walker, but they are not in the right order alphabetically. They swapped them. Scott Service, number 35, says he's from Cincinnati. They did not spell that correctly, and his date of birth is wrong. It should be 2/27. Scott Coolbaugh, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, number 42, definitely spelt wrong. They definitely did not correct that either. Jose Cano, number 43, date of birth was wrong. Jose Offerman, number 46, possesses is spelt incorrectly on the back. Number 49, Tommy Greene. This one's funny. It says livest when it should say liveliest. Big spelling error there, I think. Will the Thrill Clark, number 50, talks about him being a perennial, but on the back they did not spell perennial correctly. All uncorrected. Number 52, Chris Hammond. Chatanooga is misspelt with only 1 T.
And then number 54, Ben McDonald. We're going to come to our first error, well, first one that they corrected, has the Orioles logo at the bottom of his card where it should say rookie. So that was an error. And the one with the Orioles logo is a little harder to find, worth a few bucks. And number 55, Andy Beans. They misspelled Whichita. They spelled it with a WH at the beginning of it. And another corrected error that they made, number 60, Mickey Tettleton. On the back, it says that there was a Jamie Weston. Well, we're going to see this come up a few times. His name was actually Mickey Weston. I wasn't able to find the story of why they got his name wrong every time, but we're going to see him a few times. Number 63, Ken Merker, Albuquerque. Okay, so they misspelled Albuquerque. Kind of a tough one to spell, right? There's no G's in it, but they put a G in it on the first one, and then the second Q they got correct. So it's Albuquerque. I'll put up a picture of that so you can see. And number 65, Steve Avery. He was born in Michigan, not New Jersey. And they also misspelled Merker on the back. Merker. Should be a Cker.
Number 68, Vince Coleman. On the back, it has his teammate, Pedro Guerrero, listed. But Guerrero is misspelt, has the double R in the wrong place. Number 71, Dennis Cook. Well, this is more of a trivia than it is an actual error. He's a lefty, but on the back he's holding a right-handed glove. Now, I don't believe that's an error. Juan Gonzalez, number 72, played 135 games in Tulsa, but it only should be 133. Big whoop. Number 74, Dean Palmer. Permanent is misspelt. Number 75, Bo Jackson. Well, we know that name. On the back it says monstrous. It should say monstrous. Number 77, Bobby Rose. Pickin' is what it says on the back. It should be pick in. They just put the two words together. Number 78, Brian Dubois, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Committing is misspelt on the back. It only has one T instead of two. Number 84, John Smoltz. We've seen this one a couple times. O to B is misspelt. Has the two B's instead of the two D's. 87, Kevin Tapani Expet. Okay. on the back it says except, but they misspelled. It looks like expet. Number 89, Jim Gott. This was an error that was corrected. The photo on the front is not him. It's Rick Reed, shown in the dugout. They did come back and correct it, though. Number 91, Robin Yount. Now, on the back of the card, it has 178 for Rob Deere and 176 for Mike Felder, his teammates. Those numbers are switched. They did not get the right number to the right card. Number 93, Julio Machado. And this one's funny. On the back it says he's a Valenzuelan instead of Venezuelan. So really kind of misspelled that. Was kind of a funny error, I think. Number 98, Kevin Ritz. He is an American. Well, it should say American League. It says American, though, misspelled. Bo Jackson again, number 105. His 89 batting average of 265. It should be 256. I got the last two numbers transposed. Kevin Mitchell, 117 of my Giants. 1989 home run total should be 19, not 18. Same as the previous year they made that mistake. George Brett, Hall of Famer, Pine Tar Incident Guy, number 124, 133 runs. It should be 1,300. That's a pretty big mistake. O to B McDowell, 145. Okay, got the name misspelt on the front and back. It's misspelt in 1989 checklist, but spelled correctly on the 89 base card. And now on the base card in 90, they misspelled it. Go figure. Domingo Ramos, number 150. Bio says he throws left, but he's shown throwing righty on the front of the card. Ken Griffey Jr., 156, Hall of Famer, simultaneously is misspelt. Mark McGuire, Big Mac, number 171, total games 427, and hits 479. It should be 467 and 427 respectively. Got both those wrong. Number 183, Willie Randolph. The 1989 stats are wrong, has a few mistakes in there. 187, Kevin Elster, 16 home runs in 89, should be 10. They did that the previous year as well. 188, Jose Uribe. Oh boy, we see this guy a lot. Wrong date of birth. Should be born in 59, not 1960. So just the year was wrong. Roberto Kelly, RBIs should total 62. They do not. Rafael Belliard, number 208, is born in 61, not 51. Okay, they tried to make him 10 years older than he was. Sean Dunston, number 231. 89 stats are actually not even his. On the back of the card, those stats belong to Andre Dawson, the Hawk.
Kirby Puckett, Hall of Famer, number 236. They got the wrong amount of games. Says 824 games. Should be 924. Number 244, Pedro Guerrero. They got it spelt wrong with the wrong double R in the wrong place on his last name. Bob Welsh, number 251. Has 2,587 career strikeouts. Should be 1,587. Gave him too many, poor guy. Howard Johnson, number 263. Had 192 strikeouts, but should be 592. That's a pretty big difference there. Kirk Gibson, one of my heroes, number 264. Says he has 659 runs. Should be 669. Okay, big deal. And number 266, Cal Ripken Jr. Well, Hall of Famer, we know who this guy is. There's a couple of variations of this one where the shortstop is printed lower in the box in the top right-hand corner. This is actually a variation that is notable on this card, but found on other ones as well, where Upper Deck just printed them slightly lower than others. And I'll show you a picture of that one.
Number 267, Ozzie Guillen. Triple should be 29, not 27. 269, Bobby Thigpen. He should have 34 saves in 1989, not 31 as the card indicates. 272, Dave Stewart. The totals are not correct, and the reason why is they don't have any 86 stats on the card, so they don't total up correctly. Number 274, Luis Aquino, says that he's a lefty. He's actually a righty. 277, Eddie Murray, Hall of Famer. Several typos in his career stats. They don't add up correctly for some reason. Number 290, Brady Anderson, says his home is Silver Springs, Maryland, but it says Silver Springs on the back. They did not put that L in silver for some reason. 325, Benito Santiago, misspelled as Santiago on the back. They did not leave the I in Santiago. Brett Saberhagen, number 326. His hits say 1,140, but it should be 1,240. And 56 games should be 52. So a couple issues going on there. 337, Dave Winfield, Hall of Famer. 1,418 RBIs, should be 1,438. Jack Clark, 342. 916 walks, should be 1,006. And strikeouts are also incorrect. Tony Gwynn, Hall of Famer, 344. One of the greatest hitters of our time. His doubles are not correct. 345, Jerome Walton. Total at bats are 476. Should be 475. Okay, they were one wrong. Roberto Alomar, 346. 61 doubles, should be 51 doubles. 347, Carlos Martinez. Born in 65, not 64, as the card indicates. Kevin Seitzer, number 363. Triples do not add up. Bobby Bonilla, 366. Had 2 steals in 1987, but it should be 3. They're one off. 368, Stephen Carter says Charlottesville. It is not spelt correctly on the back. Israel Sanchez, number 384, is missing his 89 stats. 397, Terry Kennedy. Career totals are all incorrect. They just don't add up. 427, Lenny Harris. 2 walks in 1989. Should be 20. Okay, they were kind of way off there. 447, Ed Whited, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Asheville, again, should have an E in it. They did not spell that incorrectly. 467, Carlos Quintana. They misspelled international. It says international. Lenny Dykstra, troublemaker, 472. 89 total runs are 66, not 56. So they got that one a little bit off. 478, Scott Grells. Now, this was an error. They did correct it. The photo is showing Bill Bay, the clean-shaven look. They did come back and correct that, though, with the correct Scott Grells. Please stand up. And number 480, Gus Polidor. Well, he's wearing number 14 on the front, but number 10 on the back for his jersey number. Well, that's not actually an error. He actually changed numbers mid-season, but this is generally considered to be an uncorrected error.
Tragic story. He was killed at age 33 in Venezuela. He was actually protecting his son while armed carjackers were stealing his car. He was shot and killed. Really sad story. Moving on here, 519, Randy Kramer. Cotarelli is misspelt. Looks like Cotaroli. Okay. 521, Jim Corsi. The word originally is misspelt. 526, Chris Gwynn. Okay, so this is the second Albuquerque one where instead of 2 Q's or 1 Q, they spell it with 2 G's. Okay, it says Albuquerque. They really had a hard time with this one. So Albuquerque. Okay, so no Q's in that one. They did not come back and correct that. Bert Bly 11 is a Hall of Famer, 527. Games, careers, totals incorrect. It should be 644. John Smoltz, another Hall of Famer, 535. This one's funny. Should be Shea Stadium, but the back says Hay Stadium. So Shea without the S. Number 549, Greg Caderet. Acquiring. Should be acquiring in the bio on the back. Jeff Enos, number 562. This one is actually an error that they corrected. They got David West on the card, and there actually was an error. They came back and they did correct that, but the right guy on the card. Sorry, Jeff. Number 562, Robin Yount, Hall of Famer. Couple issues going on with this card. His hits are 7,602. They should be 2,602. Well, if he had 7,602 hits, he'd be the all-time hit leader. No, not even close. They did not correct that one. And also the career doubles are incorrect as well. Joe Oliver, number 568. They misspelled Florida on the back. This is kind of funny. It says a period right in the middle of Florida. They did not correct that one. 570, John Farrell. His losses do not total correctly. Andy McGaffigan, 597. This one they did correct. The picture on the front is actually Rich Thompson, but they did come back and caught that error and they corrected it. And the checklist number 600 has under 599 has Bob Neppers. Well, they put an S on his last name. It should be Bob Nepper.
Number 63, Cal Daniels. He had 12 hits in 87. Should be 123 hits. It's a pretty big difference there. 335 runs should be 235. So they kind of shorted him on a bunch of stats. Bob Guerin, number 608, originally is misspelled on the back. 614, Jack Doherty. He was born in July 30th of 60, but it should be July 3rd. Rick Lucan, 621, innings pitched are wrong. 625, Jack McDowell. Career stats for games and games saved do not include the 87 season for some reason. 633, Gino Petralli, Cremento. They had a hard time spelling that one. 638, Jeff Russell. The shutout stats are wrong. Mark Langston, number 647. Several errors in the stats total. Some of them add up and some don't. It's just kind of weird. They're all over the place. 656, Danny Tartable. 395, walk. Should be only 295. 665, Mark Lemke. Richmond. They misspelled Richmond. They put an O in the middle of it for some reason. 667, Chuck Finley. Date of birth wrong. 683, Mickey Weston. Well, this is the one we keep reoccurring with this guy, and I don't know why, but they had this name wrong on the front and back, showing as Jamie, when it should be Mickey. Also, there's an uncorrected error with his date of birth. They got it wrong by 20 years. Said he was born in 1981. Well, that would have made him like 8 years old when he made this card, but I don't think that's correct.
And moving on, number 693, Wally Joyner. His stats don't add up on the back of the card. They did not correct that one. Card number 700, the checklist. Okay, so this one has that Jamie Weston error again, where they had to put the wrong name. It should be Mickey Weston. They did come back and correct those as well. And number 702, Mike Witt. This is definitely my favorite error in the set. I did make a separate video about this, so I don't want to go into a lot of detail right now, but this is the black box error, and I have one, and it's probably one of my favorite errors of all. Definitely a cool one. There's a black box on the back of the card. A lot of controversy over what that one is. So check out my other video when you get a chance. Number 800, checklist. There's a double printed copyright on the bottom of the back. I'll show you a side by side of that one. It's just a lot more bold where the copyright is actually printed. And the last one I want to mention is cards number 101 through 199. Upper Deck forgot to put copyrights on the back of them, so you can get them with or without copyrights. The ones without are definitely more valuable. They kind of caught it early on that. So if you're looking for like a master set, when you're building a set for this one, there's a lot of extra cards. There's about 100 of them without those copyrights. So kind of a funny one there. Guys, I hope you hung in there. This was a fun video to put together, a fun set to collect when you're putting together all those errors. Some of them are pretty comical. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys are liking and subscribing. Leave some comments down below. I'll reply to you, and we'll see you next time.